Paul Pogba. During his first stint with Juventus, he was seen as one of the best midfielders in the world. Coming through the United Academy, he possessed amazing physicality, jaw-dropping playmaking, and he scored goals that seemed it had come from playing FIFA. And he was just 23 years old. But fast forward to today, and he has tested positive for doping after a game against Udinese for Juventus. So, in today's video, we are going to discuss just where it all went wrong and what is going on with the one superstar that is Paul Pogba. So what's going on, everyone? You're listening to Back of the Net here. I hope you're all doing well. Now, I'm not going to run through his full life story because most of us here are very familiar with it already. Instead, I'm going to start with his downfall while at Manchester United. Now, despite what most people think, his time at United wasn't all that bad. Yes, he never seemed to live up to the hype that was once around him, and he never fulfilled his potential and price tag of £89 million that was placed on him when United bought their academy player back from Italy. But overall, he was not that bad. Inconsistent, yes, but he always had those games that made you think he was one of the best midfielders in the world at the time. I think it's fair to say, though, that his 6-year stint at Manchester United is going to be remembered by, I'd say, unfulfilled potential. Despite being one of the world's most dynamic playmakers and midfielders, Pogba often found himself playing out of position at United. He was usually lacking support in the team's midfield structure, and he was oftentimes being forced to play far too deep when his skill set is more suited to play an 8 or 10 role in the midfield as opposed to the 6. His most successful period came under interim manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as it did for most United players at the time. This period was between December 2018 and March 2019. However, ongoing interpersonal issues involving other players, the club and his agents, along with persistent injuries, kind of made it hard for him to form a strong connection with the club's fan base. In the 2021-2022 season, it summed up Pogba's time at United essentially, marked by initial promise and creative passing, including getting 4 assists in one game in a 5-1 victory on the first day of the season. But he followed that game up by injury setbacks, contract speculations, and just inconsistent performances when he did play. His calf injury during a heavy defeat to Liverpool kind of symbolized his United career, where he often carried heavy expectations but struggled to constantly deliver his best on the pitch. While at United, Pogba faced criticism from some quarters of the fan base who felt he performed better for the French national team than for his club. His agent, or his former agent, the late Mino Raiola, expressed his belief that something was impeding Pogba from reaching his full potential at United and urged them to help rediscover his form. Pogba's time at the club included winning the Europa League and League Cup, but like I said earlier, it was just marked by inconsistencies and his departure was imminent, with Juventus, who seemed a strong contender to re-sign him at the time. Now, Paul Pogba was determined to prove Manchester United wrong for not extending his contract and allowing him to leave on a free transfer in the summer. The then 29-year-old hoped to demonstrate his true worth when he landed in Turin. United, despite offering multiple contract extensions with substantial salaries, couldn't convince Pogba to stay, leading to his departure. Pogba aimed to show both Manchester United, who he believes made a mistake in not securing his contract, and other potential suitors at the time that they missed out by not offering him a contract sooner. Paul Pogba's return to Juventus in July 2022 on a 4-year contract was stained by injuries and disciplinary issues. Shortly after his comeback, he suffered a knee meniscus injury in late July, needing surgery and sidelining him until after the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Pogba made his second debut for Juventus in February 2023 as a substitute against Torino, but faced disciplinary troubles when he was dropped from the squad for a Europa League match due to turning up late to a team dinner. His season took another hit as he suffered a muscle injury in training, keeping him out of action for 3 weeks. Despite his struggles, he received a starting lineup spot in May, but had to be subbed off after just 23 minutes due to a muscle injury, ultimately ending his season prematurely. And during his first season with Juventus, he played only 161 minutes in total during the whole season. And that now brings us to today, where Pogba's woes continue into the season, where he has been provisionally suspended after testing positive for a banned substance. Italy's National Anti-Doping Tribunal said on Monday that the test was performed after Juve's 3-0 Serie A season opening victory at Udinese on August 20th, and they detected testosterone, a hormone that increases athletes' endurance. They said in a statement, in acceptance of the instance proposed by the National Anti-Doping Prosecutor, it has provided for the provisional suspension of the athlete Paul Pogba. If found guilty of doping, Pogba could be suspended for between 2 and 4 years. He will now await the results of the B sample test. Paul Pogba's agent, Raffaella Pimenta, said, "We are waiting for the results of the counter-analysis and cannot say anything until then." The only certain thing is that Paul Pogba never intended to break the rules. This has all marked yet another setback in Pogba's tumultuous career, adding to the challenges he faced in recent years. But with all this being said, I would love to know your guys' take on everything in the comments. Do you think Pogba did it intentionally? If he is, let's say he is found guilty and he's up to 4 years suspended, do you see him ever making a comeback, or do you think that this is it for Pogba at the top level? I would love to know your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comments below, so be sure to give me them, and I will see you guys in the next one.